Okay, next link. What is this? Progressive Victory was doing something like this. What is this? I love the spooky noises. Hey, what's up?
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hey, have you seen? I know you're busy with your own election stuff, but have you seen Georgia election?
Nope.
Like the mayhem that was. Damn, you would find it funny because there were like the most blatant like election rigging fraud that you have ever seen. And I couldn't help but seeing all those videos of people like stuffing the ballots inside the thing, thugs running around, beating up people, beating up the people who oversee the ballot being put out. No, all of that, I couldn't help. That's kind of what MAGA think happened.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia has been since, was it 2008? When did Russia invade?
I mean, sure, but that was like a long period when Saakashvili was the president, and they were moving towards like European Union, and they were also trying their pretty much best to kind of like counteract corruption, things like that. But then pro-Russian party came to power again, and since then, now the pro-Russian party supposedly won, but it was pretty fucking obvious that the elections were not legitimate.
Yeah.
And most people consider them illegitimate now, so I don't know what the fuck Georgian people will do. In my opinion, the only thing they can do is Maidan type of thing, like revolution type of thing.
Probably not. All you can do is fight your hardest and try to look to some other, I guess, like hegemonic power that's not China or Russia, because the reality is if they were to gain any amount of independence, my guess is Russia would just invade them again and find more independent territories that or find more parts of the country that need to be independent territories, like Crimea or the Donbass or South Ossetia or, like that's, I mean, they already did the Georgia once, right?
That.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But that's the issue is that like Georgia
them from within.
Yeah. So, I mean, like it's, the United States is in no position politically right now to do anything because I don't even know if we are schizophrenic on our own.
Nobody will do anything.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded.
Nobody will do anything. I actually talked with my Georgian friends about it, and they were like, we hope the West will, declare these elections legitimate and admit that they might, but they did the same with Venezuela, for example. They were like, that election was rigged, and what's next? Nothing happened.
Yeah.
So the only thing you can do is to push Russians out, like basically physically. That's the only thing they can do, because the things that were happening during their elections are exactly the things that were happening during Yanukovych shit.
Yep.
So,
and if you declare, if you declare the Georgian elections rigged, I mean, then Russia's going to send in their peacekeeper troops to make sure that the next election goes well. And
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Oh.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think they will do it now. Yeah, I think they're pretty stuck up with us right now.
Sure, but I mean, Georgia didn't put up hardly any resistance before, right? When they were invaded, didn't Russia basically? I could be incorrect. I don't know the Georgia conflict as well,
but. You're right. There was like a week or two event, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have like any army or any strength to do it at all, which, I mean, no, not everyone is unhinged as us, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because most people would prefer to avoid that shit, obviously. But, for example, Moldova recently just, also had like Russia trying to rig their election. And yeah, Georgia already declared that the elections were rigged by Russia, but also multiple other countries in Europe, like Western countries, said that they were, not legitimate. So we shall see what will happen. People are a little bit, desperado, let's say.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys seen it, but just look at this shit. It's very. It's pretty awesome to see, in the sense, because so many people in the United States pretend like they live in a third world country and that the elections were rigged and everything, But at the end of the day, it's the MAGAs who are trying to turn this country into a third world country, where laws don't apply, when nothing works and everything is subservient to the one person, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, sad stuff. But I send you from Twitter. Just look at this, like the blatant, how fucking blatant that shit is. Video, you can show it on stream.
Gotcha. Okay, we got it open in my links. I'll go over it once I grab it in my links. I got links open. I'm working my way through, and I'll go through that one. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little video of them like beating shit up and like stuff in the the like they do it in public, like on camera and everything. You can actually like see it.
Yeah.
And this was called like titushki is how we call it. It's like basically what Russia does. It pays off the worst people, like criminals, people who like don't care, will do pretty much anything for money.
Mm-hmm.
And you hire those people, and they will run around and they do your essentially like your bidding. So they would like either beat up the people who go vote for the party Russia doesn't want, or they would beat up the people who film what they do, or even like the people who are supposed to, preserve the security of the election, be like there where the ballots are, and watchers, or how they call it in English, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did all of that, and some I never seen this type of shit, honestly, even in Ukraine. And this was probably the most embarrassing like election I have ever seen in my entire life. And the amount of like footage that was going on of them breaking all sorts of like rules, laws, and everything was just pretty bad. Yeah.
Damn.
So I don't know what's up next.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the videos and be sad about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, be sad about it, I suppose, because I mean, I know you aren't going to be as sad as Georgians are, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. I personally think that nobody will do anything, and Russia will just, if they don't stop it now, then they will just turn themselves into Armenia or like Belarus or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Russia will move in their peacekeepers there. They would basically secure all the power there. All the army that Armenia has is basically Russian, so they don't have their own pretty much at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then there would be no escape, unfortunately, ever. So yeah, I don't know.
Rip.
But
yeah,
trying to escape, on the other hand, leads to, well, what we have. So I don't know. Well, their choice, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it sucks. Hopefully we get strong U.S. leadership soon. We'll see.
Will we, though? Everyone has been, like, depressing about this whole thing and telling me that Trump will win and all sorts of thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
what do you think, though?
I truly can't tell you anything about. I have no clue. I don't know what's going to happen in the United States 7-8 days from now. I truly have no fucking idea. If Trump wins, I don't know what'll happen. If Kamala wins, I don't know what'll happen. The thing is, is that like if Trump wins, like it could be the worst thing in the world, or it could be whatever. Like Trump, like there's a world where Trump wins and he's just like happy that he won again and he gets all the validation and he just sits in office like a lame dunk and does fucking nothing and doesn't care. There's a world where he wins and literally disassembles the United States democratic system like piece by piece because he gets a bunch of loyalists in. There's a world where Kamala wins and it's an amazing thing and the Trumples all fall apart because Trump's lost again and they all kind of whatever and we can actually get some shit done. And there's a world where Kamala wins and Trump decides to appoint his son as his successor, and the MAGAs like try to destroy this fucking country from within, like they tried to do on January 6th. So I truly have no idea. It's impossible to guess. We have to wait for the election and then see what starts to happen in the week after the election. Yeah, it's insane.
Do you think they will be okay with like Kamala winning? I mean, MAGA people, will there like be a peaceful transaction of power, or will there be something like January 6th but worse, or I don't know?
My guess is that like a J6 style event is impossible because too many people are seeing, like too many people are wise to what's going on, and obviously like the National Guard and shit is going to be there. But who the fuck knows? Yeah, my guess is nothing will happen, but who knows? Yeah.
Isn't this like wild that it's 2024, right? And people in the United States, I know many like, liberals, people like that, are worried about whether there will be a peaceful transaction of power in the United States.
I mean, the problem is
really hard to even believe.
People live in different realities now. Like these people will get on and say that the last transition of power was peaceful when it wasn't. Like it literally wasn't. There was violence. It delayed the certification of the vote. It was not a peaceful, but people think it was.
Yeah.
And also the majority of our Republicans, I believe the last number I saw was 80%, think that the last election was rigged and stolen anyway. So who knows? Yeah, who knows? We'll see what happens.
I don't know. Like it's just mind-boggling that people are even worried about that in the United States. It's not something I ever thought I'd see. Yeah. Because, United States used to be like an example of sorts, like what other people aspired to be in terms of like democracy being functional, laws being functional, elections, everything, like all of that, right? And now it's pretty wild to see. And yeah, the last thing I would say is that it was very funny that Orban congratulated the Georgian Dream, a slip of a Freudian slip, Russian Dream. Georgian Dream is a party that is pro-Russian.
Okay.
And he congratulated them before the votes were counted on their victory.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
The world's pretty crazy right now. So,
Damn, dude.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, your MAGA people started saying that Moldova elections were rigged because the pro-Russian party didn't win. And I was laughing about it because I swear, like, most of them didn't know Moldova existed.
Yeah, that's
before.
basically how it works. Yeah. I mean, Trump probably doesn't even know Moldova exists. So what? Yeah, unless he's got a building there. But yeah.
And they were like, Moldova was rigged because CIA or some shit. I don't know. Like, never mind the fact that it was officially confirmed that Russians bought 300,000, like something like a number of voters there to go vote for pro-Russian party.
Yeah.
Like a little less than 500,000 people were confirmed.
Yeah.
But the MAGAs were like, it was rigged because Russia didn't win, essentially.
Yeah. MAGAs are
Moldova.
they love the Russia, the Putins. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Go on, dude, with your crusade. Best of luck. I
a
feel
lot.
like we depend on, on you all not going to shit.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Bye. Spooky. What's the strongest single piece of evidence that speaks to or proves Trump's inciting of the J6 violence, trying to argue with people, and the one time he said peaceful is all they need? You can't argue with anybody like that. There's no way to do it. Because these people will have one peaceful word from Donald Trump, and they will say that that's enough to say the whole thing was peaceful. But when it comes to Democrats speaking, they'll take one word from a Democrat and say that means that they wanted violence. There's no way. You have to go back to the information and media environment they're in before and try to take it apart piece by piece, like at a very foundational level. Because by the time they are saying shit like that, Trump said peaceful. Like, in my mind, the strongest argument that I've given is Donald Trump called all of them, but conservatives will actually, the thing is, conservatives are biting more bullets than I would have ever expected them to in a shorter amount of time. I thought we would have needed like decades to get to this point. The problem is that, like, I think I've had two different conservatives say this to me on stream, I think, where I'll say, okay, Trump said people needed to go to the Capitol on January 6th, right? Yes. For a historic event that would be like nothing ever before, right? Yes. They all showed up at the Ellipse and listened to him speak, right? Yes. He said they needed to fight like hell. They needed to take their country back. They needed to do all these things, right? Yes. Then he said to march down Pennsylvania Avenue to the Capitol, right? Yes. There was a riot there that delayed the certification of the vote, right? Yes. Was that a coincidence? And they go, yes. That, like, so at that, like this, it's such an impossibly stupid, yeah. The way that you walked Tom Bilyeu through some key Gen 6 related stuff was very nice, and him stumbling through all of it was so disappointing to watch. The thing is that, like, I know Tom decently. Like, we chat a bit off stream. There are like two people in the world that I've like gotten advice from for business related stuff because it's so hard to find people that I can look up to for business stuff. And Tom is an incredibly smart guy. He is very smart. He's got a good thought process. He's very logical. So like when I'm having so many like foundational disagreements with him, it is incredibly frustrating. But I saw in that conversation, I didn't realize how deep down like the libertarian gold standard rabbit hole we were in. And I'm like, fuck me, dude. There's no way. Like we'd have to go through so much econ to get through this. And it's like, and I see the different worlds that we live in. So it's like, fuck me. I'm gonna use the restroom 1 sec. Somebody pasted a comment before in chat that I didn't get a chance to respond to, but I paste them. Hi, Destiny. I combo with a Trump supporter, and as usual, one of their issues is the immigration problem. How do you get through someone who believes the issue is the illegal part when the real issue is the processing part? I already explained the migrants are seeking legal ways to stay in the country since in the law it allows it. He responded that if true, he doesn't like that law. Funny enough, he's going to use talking points from Charlie Kirk. But the Republicans don't talk about changing the law, right? That's the issue. Why is it every time Tom Bilyeu says human flourishing, it's basically the same as some woo-woo crystal girl just saying nothing? He said it several times. He's probably borrowing from Sam Harris there. Human flourishing just means we're all like healthy, happy, working, like safe, have shelter, fun, stuff like that. Just as a quick thing so that you guys can understand this, but there's no point in learning this because you're never going to be able to explain this to a Trumple because they don't understand basic econ and they don't understand it's just too much to get through, but just so that you understand it, okay? When people say this shit, okay? The idea that the U.S. needs to bring back manufacturing so that we're a stronger country is stupid when they're talking about bringing back base level manufacturing, okay? In the United States, we only have so much of a population, okay? And a lot of the stuff that we do is like high value add, meaning like final stage of assembly, okay? So, for instance, let's say that I were to imagine a Tesla automobile, okay? Look at my beautiful car. Let's say that I were to imagine a car, all right? Every stage when you go through this, okay, you're refining, you're adding value to, you're assembling, you're doing something that's making this like a more valuable thing, okay? Anybody can go into the earth and mine ore, all right? A lot of people can probably smelt, okay, ore, all right? A lot of people can probably create, not as many people maybe can create like base components and whatever, you know, like simple components. Not as many people, much fewer people can create like complicated, okay, if it's cuxing, go to Kick. I don't know why it does this sometimes on YouTube. There's no problem on my end. It's on YouTube's end, so figure it out. A lot of people, or some very few people can make these like advanced components. And then at the very, very final stage, okay, you have this taking all of these things and putting them together in an incredibly sophisticated end product. Generally, the further you go through this supply, through this chain of production, the further that you go through this chain, the more value that you're adding per unit of labor hour, and the more specialized the work is, and the fewer people that can do it. All right. We're employed at a very, very high level in the United States right now, as in like our unemployment is very low. Right? It's been below 5% fucking forever, all right? If we're manufacturing this stuff here, if you want us to bring back this kind of manufacturing or this kind of manufacturing or this kind of manufacturing, right? I'll get the couch today, Dan. If you want to produce this stuff, fine, but we have to stop making this stuff. We have to stop making this stuff here, okay? Why the fuck would you want to go back to doing this base level shit when we make better shit? Why would you ever want to do that? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So this is a nonsense approach to manufacturing. Also, everybody knows this. For instance, when Elon Musk wanted to make Teslas, he didn't say who's mining material out of the earth and making steel or whatever, right? He said, who has the best environment where I can have specialized enough workers to do the final stage of assembly or manufacturing for my cars? And he came to the United States of America, all right? He didn't go to where they create steel. He didn't go to where they mine something out of the earth, right? It's just, yeah, so this is dumb. I'm buying it and shipping it to, I'll get it, Dan, give me 1 hour and I'll have it ordered, okay? But anyway, yeah, so number one, okay, and then number two, is it not possible to do both? Obviously not at the same time, but would it hurt to produce some parts? No, you can't do both. You only have so many workers. How could we do both? Is everybody going to start working a second or third job to do base level manufacturing? You can't do it. It's impossible. You can't do everything, right? Also, this is an issue that is contradictory that they bring up. There's two things that people keep complaining about, all right? They complain that illegal immigrants are coming to the United States, or immigrants in general are coming to the United States, and they're complaining that these immigrants are coming, and as a result, they're stealing jobs, or they're working too much, or whatever. They're hurting whatever workers. But then in the next sentence, in the next breath, In the next breath, they'll say, we can't compete with Mexico because they can pay their workers less because those workers are stealing our factories, right? If that's the case, that they have so many workers that they're stealing factory investments from us, why are we blocking the workers from moving here? If their workers are so good that they can work in these factories and fuck us over, why wouldn't we just have them come to the United States and build the factories here and then have the workers here? It doesn't make any sense. You're saying that group of workers over there south of the border, they're able to build factories down there, and all those people are working in those factories and it's fucking us over. And it's like, okay, well, damn, how can we bring those workers to the United States? No, we don't want those workers here. Wait, I thought you said that those workers are stealing our factories over the border. Yes. But you want to block all of them from coming here? What if they just came here and then we could just build the factories here and employ them here? Wouldn't that make more sense? Like, it's this all, their whole approach to immigration is just fucking nonsense, okay? It's just fucking nonsense. However, I'm here for it. I'm here for it because if Trump wins, I will be spending the next 4 years, okay, ruthlessly shitting down the throats of poor Republicans, okay? And I will do it, and I will enjoy it. I will publish my tax returns, okay, every fucking year, just so they can see how unbelievably fucked they are, okay? Just so that I want to do it. I will enjoy it, and they can see all the money that Donald Trump is saving. I think last year, I paid like $600,000 or $700,000 in income taxes, and then next year, if Trump does some taxes, I only have to pay $400,000. Oh. The idea that I will be saving more on my income taxes than 5x with these poor, broke, meth-addled, fucking, whatever meth lab infested, we use meth twice there, conservatives in rural bumfuck nowhere are making, I'll take it. Fuck it. I'll take it. We call that a win-win, okay? We do call that a win-win. But what about the service sector? How much value is added in that per hour work? Service sector jobs, I'm pretty sure, are like some of the highest value added jobs in the world, are service sector jobs. I don't think it's as clear cut as you said. How is it not as clear cut as you said? Didn't Trump cut top line tax rates? Trump, tax cuts. Didn't he cut all the federal brackets? Basically all of them? Did he not? Am I crazy? Am I making this up? Not the tax cuts. I mean the effect on wages by immigration. Sorry. Okay. How much do you think the anti-immigration shit is ultimately just racism? Not much. I think most of it is like a weird nationalism, protectivism, like poor understanding of economics and globalism. It would be my guess. It's more that than the racist stuff. I saw the part where you were talking about the A380 encoder. The solution was not to buy a 4090. The encoders for a generation of cards is exactly the same. You could have just used the RTX 4000 SFF to test encoding speeds for the current gen NVENC encoder. The A380 encoder is one of the best, so it's strange you're having issues. I don't believe you. I looked up benchmarks for different encoding things, and the benchmarks that I was seeing posted show that the 4090, it actually does matter. Things like the memory bus, things like the speed of the card, availability of like CUDA cores and shit, that there's not just some like legendary hardware encoding lane that just is magically faster than whatever the fuck. If you want to post benchmarks showing that an A380 can encode using Intel QuickSync as fast as a 4090, then by all means, please do it, and then make me feel stupid for spending $2,000 on a graphics card. Go for it. I agree overall, but we can't really import poor textile workers and Mexican factory workers because their cheap cost of living is what makes them competitive. They can move to cheap cost of living U.S. places. And the cost of living in Mexico would maybe go up then. I don't know. I thought the argument is that they are stealing the jobs by exploiting their workers more in sweatshops in order to make a cheaper product. You can say that if you want, but then again, you're also running into another contradiction. If you're telling me that the only reason why their manufacturing is competitive with ours, and this is probably part of it, is that they can pay their workers so much less, then when you bring that manufacturing to the United States, that means that you are going to be spending more for all of those products. Every single thing that you buy in the United States will be more expensive because the manufacturing will cost more. Be honest about it. Be honest about it. Why are you using B-RAW files in your podcast and not ProRes or other formats? I think B-RAW files are like the best. The ProRes is slightly compressed. ProRes is fucking huge, though. Those are still huge files. So why not just use B-RAW? Why use ProRes? Okay, hold on. Working through links. What do we got? Links. Oh, wait. We didn't look at this. Quick save, democracy. Play, stream, and help Kamala win. Join forces with your friends and compete quests to support your favorite streamers. Oh, do they have a way to track if you vote here? We're going to figure something like this out next election cycle. We will. Okay. Sorry to repeat this, but I was curious. If automation removes fast food / truck driving, a huge portion of our workforce, won't we gain some room to do low-level manufacturing? No, what do you mean? When we specialize and make even more technically sophisticated jobs, you think that all of a sudden magically we're going to want to pay people to do like low-level manufacturing? I don't think so. If we started to run into huge unemployment increases because people just can't, work, but I mean, like, that hasn't happened yet, so... Because ProRes is super light to process. That's fine that ProRes is super light to process, but one of my big bottlenecks was transfer on the internet, right? I'm limited to a 1 gigabit per second upload. Realistically, it comes out to like 950 megabits per second. So I've got to shoot about a terabyte's worth of data to Dropbox in order to send it to my other guy who then has to download it, right? So think about if I'm transferring it, I'll be generous and I'll say 1 gigabit per second. Is going to be if I'm doing 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes times 8 is 8,000 gigabits. So 8,000 seconds divided by this, it takes me a little over 2 hours to upload, assuming I'm uploading at a full gigabit per second. And assuming he downloads at a gigabit per second, it'll probably take us around 3 hours to do that file transfer. It's not too bad, actually, but... I see. Paul Pelosi attacker gets life in prison. Okay. If they do acknowledge increased domestic manufacturing costs, they usually segue into claiming it as the reason minimum wage and other labor laws to be removed. It doesn't. It's dumb. Not if you do ProRes LT. You don't need all the resolution. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Quick question, Destiny. Why don't you set up your own little cloud storage drives? Wouldn't it make it easier for you and not changing much for the other person? Just as I do. I use Dropbox and Google Drive. What do you mean? I do. I use Dropbox and Google Drive.
And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Okay. Just set up a local server. A local server does absolutely nothing to address any of the issues relating to transferring files from person to person, okay? My personal opinion is peer-to-peer sucks. Setting up a NAS doesn't do anything to help you with your peering. Now, some people seem to be disagreeing with me, but I went through several solutions before I realized, fuck this. Fuck sync thing. Fuck Windows transfer. Fuck everything, okay? Peer-to-peer just sucks, okay? Okay. Hear me out. You've been raving about RDP. Have your editors RDP into a locally hosted VM on your network. You can install whatever software they need. No, I don't want to do all that shit. I don't want to have people working. No, fuck that. You can just download it, okay?
A certain live stream on YouTube happened today where they said you were anti-Ukraine. What? Oh. I like that. If the smearing of me as an anti-Semite who like denies rapes wouldn't stick because people could see it with their own eyes, now we're just going back to like even older shit. Sure. You don't think all war crimes are genocide, so people are dumb and you're not? Yeah.
Damn, yeah, heavy research day. How many Twitter tabs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Twitter tabs today. Plus these, what are the blue things? Are these streamables or is that also Twitter?
I mean, that's why I made the distinction between Lebanon and Gaza. Oh. Yeah. If we go back far enough, maybe people will start talking about how I bought a house.
Oh yeah, just because you bought a house. God, he's so good faith. He's such a good faith person when he summarizes people's issues with him.
Oh, that Ukraine is run by Nazis. I heard.
Yeah, I just learned yesterday that Poland is run by Nazis as well, so I'm just learning
that from?
From Hasan, of course.
Read that? What a fucking ass. What?
Yeah, he
That's
just
racist.
Yeah, I just saw. I'm so sorry about bringing this up. It's just
I baited you,
it's like
you.
one by one, but yeah,
I baited you.
I just saw a clip yesterday that you said that all the parties in Poland are Nazis. So, yeah, nice.
Anyway, yeah, he's a scumbag, but welcome back, and it's nice to see you. Or you're not welcome back. Welcome.
Well, it's nice
Yeah,
to meet
thank
you in
you.
person.
Remember, the reason why Hasan, tankies especially, hate countries like Ukraine and countries like Poland, because these people were occupied and raped by the Soviet Union, and they fucking hate the Soviet Union for that, and they have bad recollections of the Soviet Union for that. And remember, white people in the West who have made a killing off of living their best capitalist lives constantly talk about how amazing socialism and everything was under the Soviet Union, while also simultaneously saying it wasn't actually socialism, so that they can both own it and disown it at the same time. But that's why people like Hasan and other tankies fucking hate some of the satellites, the ex-satellites or whatever, that were members of the Soviet Union before. They hate them.
For the
Welcome
first time.
once.
Yeah, welcome once. I was gonna ask you, what do you think about Hassan's view on the Russia-Ukrainian war?
I want to say.
Wow, nice cut. Okay, but it's H3 snark, so the subreddit fucking hates Ethan.
Polish W, okay? This is a phenomenally rare Polish W, okay? Like, unimaginably rare. I mean, he's Polish, so obviously he doesn't know how to do math, so that's probably why that happened. Speaking of very stupid, Poland. A Polish man figured out how to work a fire extinguisher? You're really gonna fucking act like that's not impressive? Come on. The only country that unironically takes a fat W in all of this is Poland. Because they don't know how to use computers. Like, there's only one computer in the country, and many people don't even know how to use it.
It sucks. Jesus. It sucks too because like Poland desperately wants to be accepted as like part of the West, part of the Western world. Why does he hate Polish people? Anybody that has bad views or bad memories of the Soviet Union are like the fucking enemy to people like Hasan. He'll call them all Nazis basically. Remember, in the West, we have this very privileged view of hating the Nazis, like they're the worst people in the world, okay? And then also like maybe whatever about the Soviet Union. Now, tankies love the Soviet Union, although they won't always say that openly, and they hate Nazis, okay? Tankies don't hate Nazis because of the Holocaust or any of that cringe shit. They hate Nazis because the Nazis were opposed at one point to the Soviet Union, right? After Hitler invaded the Soviet Union, when he backstabbed the Molotov-Ribbentrop, whatever the fuck that pact is, the alliance essentially that they were working to forge when they were splitting up Poland and when they were agreeing not to attack each other. Countries that lived that were between the two of these powers sometimes had to make awkward decisions over, well, who do we help, right? So you've got, I think, Bandera are figures in Ukraine that decided to align with the Nazis to fight against the Soviets. And so obviously people like Hasan will look at these people and go like, oh, you're pro-Nazi. They speak the language of the West, but their emotions are with the East. They speak the language of the West when they say, look, Ukrainians supported the Nazis and they're racist and anti-Semitic, but the feelings are with the East, where they're like, we hate Ukrainians because they decided against the Soviet Union. They don't actually give a fuck about the Nazis. They just care that Ukraine and Poland wasn't standing with the Soviets. That's the thing that they're fixated on. But remember, tankies, the Soviet Union has learned to communicate with people in the West through propaganda in a very effective manner, and these people pick it all up very intuitively.
So therefore, they are so not susceptible to cyber warfare. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Look at the mirror. The rape apology of Hasan. His insistence that it doesn't matter if rape happened on October 7th is insane. Vicious. Dude, I said that doesn't justify genocide. Are you moving away from the camera?
I have 4 more shoots.
Are you? Austin is escaping. Nah, he's got no motion. He sucks. We should take a long, hard look at the...
Is the attack on Poles partly buoyed with a race factor? They're white, so it's far more acceptable as opposed to saying the same for Yemen. A little bit, yes. Tankies and people like Hasan, though, will still advocate for positions that are incredibly damaging to brown people. They either just ignore that reality. So, for instance, when Hasan supports the Houthis, he ignores the fact that the Houthis have been responsible for more death, to Yemenis than any Western nation was. Or if they do talk about death that's happening in Yemen, they blame it on Saudi Arabia, who those aren't brown people, the Middle Easterners, they're allies to the U.S. That's the important part. It's because of the United States that Saudi Arabia is fighting with the Houthis and people in Yemen. Or when they support like Hezbollah, they talk about how Hezbollah is, a freedom-fighting part of the Lebanese government. They don't mention how much damage they do in Syria. They don't talk at all about people like Assad. And then when they refer to Jews in Israel, they pretend that they're all white, ignoring the fact that the majority of Jewish people in Israel are descendants from Middle Easterners. That's why people like the Frogan girl will say things like, go back to Brooklyn, pretending because it's the stereotype that all these Jews are just white people from Europe. Yeah.
Progressive Victory is bringing together...
Didn't Hasan somewhat mock babies dying in Syria? At least he waved it off. No, he didn't. I don't think Hasan ever mocked babies dying in Syria. I think you guys are just autistic sometimes.
Their online community...
So this is Progressive Victory is who we're teaming up with. Is that going to make sense?
...to participate in elections. We give volunteers and content...
It's Wicked Supreme!
...what they need to get involved in political action. Welcome to Quick Save Democracy. A place where you and your friends can play together, earn rewards, and make an impact. Accounts are email-based.
Why is he watching this?
Login. You'll create a username. Let's try Votey McVoteface.
Easy.
Since these accounts can be used for official Democratic Party functions, we will need your voter information. So don't forget to
He was
fill
sponsored
that
to
in.
do it. Oh, cute. Okay. Because PV pays everyone but you. I think I had I had an opportunity to do work with PV, but just because of everything that has gone on and because of how insane and crazy and valueless all the people on the right are, I'm like very explicitly not taking any paid work from PV because right now I can say I've never been paid by PV ever. In fact, we fundraised for them multiple times, which is true. But the second I do a single fucking paid event for them, I know that all the retarded dipshits under, oh, Destiny's paid for by PV, he paid, blah, blah. And then I don't want to have to, rather right now I could say, I've actually never taken money from them my entire life. I don't want to say, yeah, I did a sponsored thing, but it was supporting like voter. I would just rather be able to say like, no, I didn't do anything, right? It's stupid and retarded, but like. Jesus. Why is everything to the pan to the right now? They beat the shit out of the guy that recorded that. Can you please explain why deflation or a deflationary spiral is bad? I'm smooth brain, so it just sounds like things get cheaper. I don't actually think I have the proper macroecon understanding to do it. There was an old explanation that I used to give, which is that a little bit of inflation helps keep money with high velocity in the economy, and money keeps moving from investment to investment because people don't want to lose the value. But I think somebody posted a longer thing on my subreddit. I just don't have the background to understand. But essentially, I think it's saying that the Federal Reserve has the ability to lower interest rates or create currency through quantitative easing in a way that can counter bad economies. And it's very easy to go from 1% inflation to 3% inflation or 0% inflation to 2% inflation. But as soon as you get to deflation, it's very, very, very hard for the Federal Reserve to do anything to turn the economy around. I don't understand why 100%. I don't know why that is the case. But So apparently a little bit of inflation, but deflation is bad. Deflation is bad because it means that your things might be becoming cheaper, but like your pay is also going to start to decrease as well. And yeah, it gets weird. Like if $10 is worth $20 in a year, your pay is going to have to decrease because people aren't going to have things are people's brains. I think it's fucked. I don't know. I don't have the full on macro econ to explain why. I just know that nobody in the entire world wants a deflationary economy, and that if you are deflating currency, I think it works as a large disincentive for investment or anything else. Because why would you invest your money when you know it's going to gain value anyway? And then, yeah, like just people's minds just don't work as well like that. But yeah, the lack of investment might be a big thing. Stop linking clips. I've got so many clips to go through. Your one-on-one voice trans debates lately have gone well. Don't cancel. It's just not worth it. That community is never worth engaging with. I'm so irritated that we actually found the clip that I got permabanned for. I didn't even say subhuman. I think I just said inbred. Whatever. One voice trans debates. This is the don't cancel. This is the clip that I was permabanned for. That's in my file, I guess. It's nice that it's like at least it's like officially confirmed and everything now, so I can see it and like everybody can see it, and it's not just like me talking shit or saying random stuff or whatever. But your one-on-one voice trans debates lately have gone well. Don't cancel. It's just not worth it. That community is never worth engaging with. There's just no point in doing it. Like the risk of me like ending up getting like permabanned and my life destroyed because of these like inbred fucking disgusting losers is like, it's just not worth it. It's just totally not worth it.
I'm in danger. I've said way worse stuff than that. That's crazy. Like I've said way worse than that. Oh man. Yeah, I'm getting banned again. He got banned for this. I think that Destiny, the truth is that it was very obvious that Destiny had a very adversarial, like there was a lot of animosity in the relationship that he's had with Twitch. He's been.
How stressed were you at the time? Not really that stressed at all, because I didn't think, other than like the trans athlete stuff, we weren't really getting into very much spicy stuff. Even when I caught a ban, I was like, okay, I guess maybe I appeal and it's gone in like a day or 3 or maybe 7. But I just didn't think of anything at the time. It was like, I didn't even think I'd said anything insane. It was just so random, but.
He's been one of the earliest Twitch streamers, so it's pretty obvious that Twitch was pretty much just looking for a reason. That was it. Yeah, somebody didn't like him, exactly. And,
yeah, I was just playing Elden Ring around then, yeah. Did Dan exaggerate how sad you were after being banned? I don't know if I was around Dan at all after being banned. I don't know. I don't think that one hit me that hard. The one that mindfucked me was getting departnered. That was the big one. And I think I was hanging out with Dan and Mooten and a couple other people for that. But I usually see challenges as motivating, so I usually have emotions, feel bad, feel sad, whatever, and then figure out, okay, well, usually if something really bad happens in my life, what I try to think is like, okay, well, what if I was starting from nothing? And then I try to compare starting from nothing to starting from my current position. And I'm like, well, if I started from nothing, that would be really hard. My current position is way better than starting from nothing, so fuck it, let's go. So yeah, usually that's how I try to think about things, but... Piers on the New York case is frustrating. Nobody cares that he slept with a porn star. He was prosecuted for falsifying the payments as legal retainer to a lawyer who no longer worked for him to hide from the FEC. Sure, yeah. Do you think that this will ultimately lead to your unban? Probably not, but who knows? We'll see. I feel like there's a higher chance that, in like likelihood of things happening.
I thought
this is what I think is the chance of things happening right now. Okay, just based on everything I've seen, I think that the highest chance of things happening is Dan Clancy getting resigning. Okay, so Dan Clancy being gone. Then after that, Twitch shutting down. And then after that is Hasan getting banned. And then after that is me getting unbanned. That's what I think the order of likely things are in terms of happening. I think that Twitch will shut down before Hasan ever gets banned. I don't know why. Maybe it's like the culture of the company or what's going on, but I'm shocked that how much heat that like Twitch is catching on everything, and he hasn't been temp banned at all. Like, that's wild. That's crazy to me. So I think there's a higher chance of Twitch shutting down, or not. I don't know if I should say Twitch shutting down, but I think there's a higher chance of like Amazon at least selling Twitch or Amazon distancing themselves from Twitch than Hasan getting banned or me getting unbanned. Yeah. You are unbanned before Hasan is banned. I don't think there's ever a world where me and Hasan both exist on the same platform, because Hasan wouldn't be able to handle it. And I think he would exert every tiny ounce of pressure that he has on every single person he knows to make sure that never happens. What's the percentages of these things happening? My guess, just based on what I've seen, my guess is there's a 51% chance of Clancy going. Of Twitch shutting down right now, my guess would be 20%. It really depends on how much traction stuff gets in the media over the next week or two. And then these are both like sub 1%. Hasan hasn't been banned yet, so it feels like it's not going to happen. I don't think I'm ever getting unbanned, but who knows? Okay, what is this?
I thought this McDonald's stunt by Trump was an absolute slam dunk, probably the best political stunt I've ever seen.
This is the perfect example of how Trump gets away with what he...
Amazon is too large to give a fuck about Twitch. Twitch is not that mainstream. My understanding is Twitch is the largest, or the second largest behind YouTube, content delivery system in the world for live streams, number one. Number two, the whole IVS model, I think, that Amazon deploys now was based on Twitch's infrastructure. And then number three, it was a decent sized acquisition from Amazon. It might be, I don't know what the valuation of is it now, but I don't think it's irrelevant. It's probably one of the more public facing things that Amazon has is Twitch. That'd be my guess. But TikTok and Instagram too, no? I don't know how much live content those two things serve.
Stunt I've ever seen.
This is the perfect example of how Trump gets away with what he does. Because on policy, he's a failure. So he has to rely on these sorts of stunts to get people to like him. And the media finds it so fascinating, so they forget days before the election what really matters.
Hasan's real estate is no sway on Twitch. Isn't it more likely Twitch staff that are against you? It's probably a combination of things. I think there's a culture at Twitch where a lot of the people there don't like me. I have heard that from a lot of people that were there before. But also, Hasan will try to exert influence on anybody he's around. He's like a cancerous infestation or an infection, right? I'm so happy that now like you can see it more publicly, so I don't sound as crazy when I say it. But like behind the scenes. And I found this out now through multiple people, and even I didn't believe this initially, because once I was banned from Twitch, like there's not much to think about Hasan unless he's like being covered in the news. But he's like obsessed with me. He will shit talk me to every single fucking person that he engages with. He will shit on me. He'll tell them not to cover me. He'll tell them not to bring me up when he's on their programs. He'll tell them not to associate with me. And you can see how much he does like the reputation control, because you saw it happen on Nick's stream when Nick brought Hasan up, and Hasan texted him like 15 minutes later. And Hasan, he does this to every single person in his circle, where he's like reminding them of like their allegiances. You saw it with Ludwig when Ludwig posted that video making that minor joke, and then he had to take it down and re-release it. You see it. Canute called it out. Thank God Canute called it out as well, where Canute correctly pointed out that people like Wake are pussies who won't say fucking anything bad about Hasan. You see that nobody on Twitch right now will cover him in a negative way, even though there's been all this crazy shit happening. And it's because people are afraid of him, because Hasan will. He's kind of like Donald Trump, where if you go against him, he will try to assassinate your career in his like group of friends, which happened to be at Twitch. But I mean, like, it's just me, so people could always just say like, "Oh, Destiny Bridgeburner" or whatever. But I mean, now it's a lot more public with the stuff that was happening with Ethan, and now it's a lot more public when you can see like Canute talking about it, and then Nick getting flack for it and everything else. So, yeah, watch this clip; it's relevant. Wait, let me finish watching this. It's a 40-second clip.
They forget days before the election what really matters. Distract from the fact that days before an election he's promising to go after his political enemies. Distract from the fact that he's the most anti-democratic presidential candidate we've seen in
Okay, let me
maybe
bring
all
in
of American politics. Distract from the fact that
let me bring in Larry Elder quickly.
hundreds of economists are saying that Trump's plan would harm the economy.
Okay, let me bring
Harris's
in Larry.
plan
Larry,
would
your
make it
response to
stronger.
this.
Okay.
Days. This is
He also followed that pokey stalker who watches your stream all day and clips about you. Oh my God, Richie Torres is following the Pokimane stalker. That's awesome. Bro, he's so fucking stupid.
Do you think that streamers will take some distance from Hasan now with all the flack that he gets? Probably a little bit of distance until shit like clears up, but then they'll all go running back because as long as he's like controlling, as long as he has like a decent viewership, and then as long as he's willing to play hardball, which he will, you kind of have to be loyal to Hasan, or else he'll try to career assassinate you. That's just like his MO basically.
That's amazing, dude. What is American Congress? The person with like 500 alt accounts, yeah. He's so...
what is it about late at night I just want a fucking French fry?
I don't know.
Like, what is it about late at night that I just want a fucking French fry just dipped and lathered in ranch?
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know what about it.
You've constantly said that nothing Trump says or does could affect him, but it seems like the PR comments are. Were you wrong, or is the media wrong? Well, I don't think the PR comments are affecting him. A lot of people are covering it, but is this like significantly moving him? Maybe with Puerto Ricans, but... Destiny, I am a complete... Wait, hold on. I'll answer this question. Let me do this first. Hold on.
America's not a real country. I swear to fucking God. How do I explain any of this shit to any normal human?
What, that people want French fries dipped in ranch?
No, dude. I'm talking about a fucking sitting U.S. representative.
I got you. Sorry, wrong.
Following a...
You were talking about something else.
Following like one of the most mentally ill people...
Yes, I know. Okay,
on the planet.
No,
like literally one of the most mentally ill people on the planet.
Yeah.
Who has made over the course of the past 6 years like probably more than 1,000 alt accounts.
But I do get you. Try couple.
One of the things that I'm starting to do, I did this, I'm too charitable to people. I'm starting to reanalyze some of Hasan's actions through a little bit more of a malicious lens rather than just assuming it's like, oh, just, whatever's happening. I actually think that these types of streams are a lot more intentional. I used to say like, oh my God, Hasan is fucking autistic. Why are you bringing in these streamers that don't know anything about this super heavy political shit and just having them sit here while you're like being autistic? It's not autistic though. I think that this is heavily intentional. The idea is you have a person here and two things are happening. Either one, you're forcing them to co-sign your opinions, which gives you more legitimacy. And two, you're bringing their audience in to indoctrinate them so that you can turn them into something akin to Ethan's audience from H3H3, where even if Hasan is being a total cockmongler to him for fucking months, you can turn enough of Ethan's audience against him by being in front of them, indoctrinating them with your types of opinions. And I think that's exactly what's happening here when Hasan is bringing in other people. He wants access to their fan base and he wants the legitimacy of them in the corner of the screen co-signing his opinions. I think it's super, 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 super fucking crazy and disgusting. It's like when I have like people on my stream that are non-political and people are like, oh, ask them about this or ask them. It's like, bro, these people are not political people. Why the fuck would I bring them into this world and then tell them to, hey, like give me an opinion on this thing? Like they don't know anything about it. That feels gross and weird to me. But that is exactly what Hasan does here when he's got people like this here. So it's not accidental. It's intentional. Yeah. Do you remember when he tried to get Myth, his black friend, to co-sign his cracker opinion? That was disgusting and insane. What a crazy fucking thing to do on stream. He rages at Myth? I don't think he rages at Myth here. Fuck, can I find this? Do they have the car scene in here?
The word cracker. The what? The word.
Oh, cute. They edited. I see what they're doing here. Perfect example here. Can you use the commentary community to change the narrative around Hasan? There are some things that like I'm willing to do to play dirty now, but there are some things I'm probably never willing to do. I don't like the idea of like manipulating people to do my bidding. Like maybe when I was like 25, I would have those feelings, but the way that it stands right now is I want to be able to make my argument to people as compellingly as possible. And if you don't believe it, then you don't believe it. But like, so for the commentary community, like I'll share whatever info I have with them, to say like, hey, look, it sounds crazy. But the idea of like, I'm going to use this community to, I just don't like that. If they see it and they think it's worth covering, then they can. But like, I've never ever done anything like that ever behind the scenes, which is why it's never leaked ever or anything like that ever. Cause I've just never conducted myself in that manner.
Hasan messaged me.
Yeah, this was.
Oh no, he knows. Uh-oh.
I actually think Hasan influenced Dean and poisoned the well on you. He said he wanted to save Dean from the debate bro space and have him come on his stream. Oh, that'd be really funny. Because I saw something posted on the subreddit where it seemed like he probably wasn't going to come on my stream. But when I DM'd him on Discord, I don't know if this counts as leaking or whatever, but I messaged him and I invited him to the thing. He's like, dude, that sounds like so much fun. We were considering something like this regardless. I'll talk to the other, I invited Parker as well. But so I don't know now if like Hasan got to him or was like, oh, but also I'm taking a lot of agency away from Dean when I say that too. But I don't know. I don't know what their DMs look like, but.
What? I think modern healthcare should cover the cost of high-end prostitutes for emotionally starved men. That's my take, Lamau. Do we agree?
There are over 600,000 Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania. This is spreading to all Latinos too. MSG rally is absolutely tanking. Trump's camping. You need to get informed and focused again on politics. Fuck you. Eat shit, dipshit. Show me like updates and polling results. I don't care about Twitter headlines or MSNBC headlines. Like show me like actual polls changing and then I'll believe you. Until then, eat